Okay.
Luis.
Get centered, man.
Stars, man.
Center yourself. Man.
Oh yeah, my phone.
Come on. We gotta put like an X on the floor in tape, so you know where to have your seat.
He's not recording. He's not recording yet, Jay. So you go. You didn't expose.
Oh, I don't think he stopped and recorded. He got it live
No,
stream.
you got caught. You got caught.
I got caught, man. All right, I'm guessing, guys. I'm pretty sure, Lou. This is a video. It's educational, for educational purposes only. Okay.
Oh, we can see some titties.
I mean,
some sheer triumph.
Yeah, so that's how I wanted to let y'all know. If y'all see a whole bunch of. Anyway, I know Lou knows more about Candace Owens. I've watched some of her stuff a couple of times. I don't know about you, David. Have you?
I heard of her, but haven't really watched a lot of videos. But I've seen some.
Okay. What's your thought on her, Lou?
She's really well spoken. She's probably someone you don't want to debate if you're not on your P's and Q's and got all your talking points together. Yep. She recently either quit or got fired from the Daily Wire, which has been a big story.
Oh, she did?
Yep.
Damn.
That was Ben Shapiro, your boy, best rapper.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro's outfit.
Yeah.
So there's some beef there. I haven't read into it too much, but that's why she's kind of popping off right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Recently had a child too, and she's made the rounds on some of the Red Pill podcasts, things like that. Fresh and Fit, whatever.
She hit Joe Rogan yet?
She did Joe Rogan before years ago.
Did? Was it like 2 years ago? I think
they had a good conversation. You know, he called her out on some shit, and she called him out on some shit, and I think she's focusing on her own stuff now, like with the separation of Daily Wire now. Like she's got her own website and YouTube channel and stuff. So probably gonna see a lot more stuff
now. Like she don't need like a platform. She is her platform, so she made a name for herself. She's good to go. So she was just on the Breakfast Club recently. So Charlamagne be asking the tough questions. He's always looking to like
biased.
Go back and forth. So they had a quick conversation about, I guess, political stuff, like being conservative and what you are, what you stand for. So we're gonna tap in. We want to hear your thoughts. All right?
Sure.
Talk about some now, you said now with the politicians, right? Whether it's Lyndon B. Johnson, Trump.
Wasn't Angela Yee on the show?
I think people are able to ignore.
Yeah, she definitely was. She left a while ago. She got her own stuff now. So I don't know what it was. Maybe she did it for so long. I guess she just wanted to do her own thing. I guess.
Yeah, how many years she was in? She was with them. Like,
she was there for a long fucking time.
She was there for the beginning, right?
Yeah, I think she got her own shit now called Lip Service. Whatever it's called. All right,
let's talk about some. Now, you said now with the politicians, right? Whether it's Lyndon B. Johnson, Trump, Biden, I think people are able to ignore a lot of their BS as long as they can get something done.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like. So that's why I don't even like to talk about the person. I like to talk about the policy. So what is the difference between traditional conservatives and MAGA?
Well, I would say between the traditional conservative.
Can I ask a question?
He said MAGA or Magna?
MAGA.
Make America great. I didn't know that was a category. Like,
it's not.
Make America great again. He's just okay. I figured that. But he's just talking to those particular people. I understand how.
I mean, Trump's not your traditional conservative. I mean, he was actually a Democrat before, but.
He was, we know that. So everybody loved him back in the day.
He's a bit more brash and doesn't really have a filter. Not really a politician in the traditional sense. So there's a difference, but they don't call them MAGA Republicans or anything.
Just the name that's always attached to them.
Because of the hat. Selling hats.
Fucking hats, bro.
Conservatives.
Oh my God. All right.
Well, I would say between the traditional conservatives and MAGA.
Yeah, like before what the Conservative Party was before MAGA and what it is now.
Yeah, so I think what you're describing is that there was this fracture in the conservative movement.
Tea Party.
Because people realized that when he was referring to the swamp, what he meant was it didn't actually matter if you were on the left or the right. They were all working together in D.C. and selling out all of America. I mean, there is no reason why you go to D.C. and become a multimillionaire. You're supposed to be there to serve the American people. You're there taking our tax dollars. So what was happening was these lobbying interests, like, Big Pharma goes down and they lobby and they'll offer money to a candidate to go push a drug, like the COVID vaccine, or they'll lobby for war. It's like, biggest lobby, of course, military industrial complex. So we're all suffering. You're going to work because these lobbyists are getting their incentives done by buying out these politicians. And so Trump kind of hit the scene as somebody who wasn't bought and paid for because he didn't need their money. He wasn't like a random congressman going to DC with no money. And he just started talking about the swamp. Like, it's not even Republican or Democrat. And I want people to wake up to that, because I'm not here like ride or die for Republicans. They all sell us out. Like, the stuff that they did during COVID is criminal. It's criminal. And
you believe in that, Lou? You think that's a...
In general, yeah. I mean, it's like Tom says, left side, right side. They're all out for their own interests.
No matter what it is. Yeah.
I don't know if Trump ever really drained the swamp, because everyone he appointed was from the swamp. Mnuchin was what? Wasn't he part of like Goldman Sachs or one of the big financial firms out there? And everyone he hired was corporatized to something.
Yep. Big names out here.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the COVID thing goes, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. 5, 10, 15 years down the line. Hopefully nothing happens. But
that shit would be crazy, right? I thought about that for a second. Like, I don't know, some shit might go down. What if I start growing another leg?
Don't know. I mean, usually like vaccines. First of all, it's not a vaccine. I mean, it doesn't. Like, you don't take it and then you're done with it. Like, you booster, second shot, booster shot, mega booster shot. People still getting COVID even after you got it. I had it the other week.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Usually it takes decades for vaccines to get approved by the FDA and all that stuff, and they did it 6 or 7 months. So
and plus, you don't even know if the vaccine really works or not, too.
I mean, who knows? It's
usually. I mean, if you really know if a vaccine really works, like how you said, Lou, those takes time, because you have to make sure it really is the counter to COVID. And if it's something that is not really counter, because there's still people to this day is still getting it.
Yeah, but they're gonna tell you it's different strains. It's evolved and all that stuff. That's why you gotta keep taking it.
So I'm saying it's like. This rush when they brought out the vaccine was just too quick.
So
too quick for not knowing if it works or not.
Can I ask you a question? So when it comes down to a flu is just a flu, right? Like, it's going to be the same vaccine regardless of
different.
How many
there's variation. The flu also changes. Like, it's never,
Yeah,
it's always different. I've never taken a flu shot. I've never taken a flu shot in my life, though. So
yeah, I've never taken a flu shot in my life either. So that's why I was trying to figure out, like, should I fucking go get one?
I probably wouldn't do too many vaccinations or any. I don't trust the government anymore, man. There's too much. With the COVID thing, that they won't release any of the information from the tests, like, ever. Yeah. It's locked away forever and ever. Whenever
Area 51.
Yeah, no, I mean that's part of the deal that they signed with the government when they paid billions and billions of dollars. And you know what? You're never going to be able to list. You're never going to have the test results from when we were testing it, or from any time that we've tested anybody for any of these boosters or anything like that. And it's just shady as fuck.
That's shady.
That's crazy.
And pharmaceutical companies aren't angels. They've done some terrible fucking shit in the past and paid billions of dollars in fines. Sure. Nobody ever goes to jail, but it's just the information kept changing. At first, it's going to kill the virus dead. Then it's like, oh, well, now you got to get a booster, and it keeps changing. So there's no cure for it, but you should still take it. And it's, if I had kids, I wouldn't have them take that shot. If I had 100%. A chance, if I went back in time, I wouldn't take the shot.
Damn, that's true. That's a fact. Yeah. Too late now, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, like, even if you went back in time, like, dude, there was no way for you to even back up, because, dude, there was, like, depending the type of job you had, those places that you mandatory had to take it.
Yeah, you couldn't work. Yeah. Which is another thing that's terrible.
And that's what sucked is, like, bro, like, what the hell am I gonna do? Can I just stand saying I'm not gonna work, but I can't, because I got kids, I got a family, I gotta feed them, and I'm like, at the end of you're in this dilemma is like, you know what, I do what I gotta suck it up, do what I do, because at the end of the day, do I really value my priorities over my family, or just
it's a tough decision. You know, it's one that shouldn't have been forced on people in that way.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking forced, man.
You know, again, that's the fucking government, right? You know, they're coming in there and saying, listen, you cannot work unless you take this. Or giving the companies the ability to say that. They shouldn't be giving the companies the ability to say that type of shit.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else you say.
Found on that.
Like, I mean, just the free handouts. First off, trillions of dollars. You're signing these omnibus bills. If you read into it, where that money is going, it's insane. It's literally going, you know, to museums, boards of museums. They're quite literally money laundering is what's happening when they sign these bills. But they keep it so that the information level is so low for Americans that it's like, oh, COVID's so bad. Like, we're going to give you a check that's like, you know, $300.
Take this check,
This
bro.
basically describes welfareism, right? Like, despite the fact that there's been trillions of dollars since the establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it. People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s,
Black community was more
Black
successful.
Americans were actually outpacing white Americans
Yeah,
in
100%,
economic growth. And the reason for that was because our families were together. We had good values.
Yeah,
The government only wants to give you the bare minimum. But where's the rest of the money? Where is it going? They sign these bills making you think that this money is going to you. It's not. They are stealing from the American people. And you look at your congressman, whoever it is that you guys sent down to DC, and you realize
AOC.
that they're all just puppets. I feel like we're watching a performance, you know, and who can say the most outrageous thing. You know, the Republicans don't want to sign this because they want, you know, slavery and they want you back in chains. You know, the Democrats don't want to sign this because they want grandma to die. Whatever it is, you're watching just to me,
It's a shit show.
That's why I don't think
It's an absolute shit show.
Black, you shouldn't be beholden to any political party. Democrat
I,
or Republican.
right. I mean, I think that any concept of saying that I am a Republican forever, a Democrat forever is a nonsense. You know, you should always look at the candidates that are running, and any person that is running saying that they want to grow government is your enemy.
Why do you think people give you a lot of backlash for questioning people and having questions? I see all the time with Charlemagne. If we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat did, why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, you know, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right? So if you're the military-industrial complex,
Remember that line Joe Biden had?
Just kind of sleepwalk into another.
I can't remember what he said. He said a whole
He
bunch
was,
of stuff.
if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That shit was crazy.
He said that?
Something like that. It might have not been verbatim, but it was something about like, if you're black and you don't vote for me, then you're not really black.
Yeah, that's what basically he was saying. Yeah.
Oh,
shit. But like he said, he's supposed to be Democrat, and he think, oh,
people didn't call him out for that. People didn't call him out for
I
that.
mean, the conservatives did, but I mean, it's everything's so fragmented these days. It doesn't matter. I mean, Trump says some crazy shit too, and only the opposite side will call him out on that. But if you're only watching your own biased narrative, then you're never really gonna form your own opinion.
Yep, it's true.
The war, and I'm sitting here telling you that, you know, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine, and then they say, oh, we don't know where all the money went. It's being laundered and it's being sent back to a very small group of powerful people. And so when you have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments, you have to turn that person into persona non grata, right? And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're, you know, pro-white or anti-black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me. If you listen to what I'm actually saying, I'm sitting here providing a blueprint for Black Americans to get ahead, because it's time, okay? It's time. We've been doing this for a very long time in this country. Black America, wake up, okay? They don't like you. They don't like us, okay? There's
so you're not anti-black.
America has
yes. Government,
America.
Yeah, like the government, the American government. Why would you think the American government wants to help you? Well, at what point in history has that proven to be right? And I'll challenge that, and I'll make it wider to all Americans. When has it ever been the circumstance that you felt that the government really just was out for your own best interests? Think of them as a corporation. They want to grow themselves. They want new departments, bigger departments, larger budgets, like any other corporation would want. And they never want to leave DC because we don't have term limits, which we should have, right? If we had term limits and said you can only serve for 4 years, well then guess what?
Career politicians should never be
to shrink government, because they'd have to come back
How
out
the president
and be us,
only gets
right?
8 years, but congressmen and senators can fucking For life.
For life. Fucking.
Yeah. Have you ever seen? Have you seen? It's just nothing but it's just daycare people.
Bloomberg been in there for how long he was in there?
Well, Bloomberg was different. Bloomberg actually did some weird shit where he was mayor for longer than 8 years. He did some sort of like emergency edict that gave him like another year or two, which was odd. But yeah, there's some videos going out on YouTube of some like really elderly congressmen and women getting like shuttled around by their handlers and stuff and looking really confused and
no, it's just a when I look at Congress, it's just a daycare full of rich people. That's all it is.
I don't daycare. What do you mean by daycare?
I mean, elderly care.
No, I mean, not all of them are like that. Not all of them are that old. But
dude, you in general in population, you see that humongous room is 90% of just elderly people. And it's like, bro, why are we having elderly people like determine everything when they still go and then they're experience my ass, bro. They experience my ass because all they truly value is like things that they did and like what they did in the old ways. And old ways don't work anymore. That's it. Like you gotta like get with the times. Like you gotta like take out these old people and put in some young blood in, like so we can get some new fresh ideas.
My issue with it is that they always vote party lines. You're not voted into, the House or the Senate to strictly go by your party lines. You're there as the voice of the people in your specific area. So every vote that you cast should be in the best interest of your specific area, without really thinking about anyone else's area, because you don't represent them. You represent your specific area. And whether that's something that a Republican brings up and not something that a Democrat does, if a Republican brings up a bill that for some reason just makes it so that New Yorkers are going to be way better overall, as a Democrat, you have to veto. You can't sign it. You can't, even though maybe Tennessee, maybe it's not so good for Tennessee, but for New York, for whatever reason, it's going to be phenomenal. But a Republican wrote the bill, can't sign it, can't do it. You can't do it. You have to stay party lines, because if you go against the party lines, then you become the target, and your party will go after. It's Bernie Sanders. Look what happened to fucking Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie was that guy, man.
Independent. There's very few independents in government. And
I saw Bernie Sanders bumper sticker not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have made a pretty decent person.
I don't know, man. It's as if when I just see these people, I just don't see them really fighting for the people. I really see them more fighting for their own.
No, they're enriched themselves. They all become lobbyists or get on the board of some major corporation or speaking engagements, paying them $400,000. Like it's like you said in the beginning. Like these people are going in there and becoming multimillionaires, and they're using insider information to buy stocks. Like Nancy Pelosi is a millionaire a million times over, and she owns. You shouldn't be able to own or buy stock if you're in government.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no way that you don't know what's going to happen, and it's a conflict of interest, and all these people are just making insane amounts of money, while they're in office, and it's fucking insane.
People are not gonna say nothing because they're just gonna keep quiet.
Buy some battery shit. What is that name?
Lithium?
Yes.
Duracell?
Shut the fuck up. David said it right.
What?
Elon Musk said invest. Tesla? He put I had a little bit of money in there.
But you can't buy those batteries like that crazy because
the stock.
Tesla stock is
prevent
down.
you. They prevent you to bring those type of batteries like in the subways and stuff because they say they call those like as a fire hazard.
No, I'm talking about just what they use it for the cars.
Mm-hmm.
And not the Tesla stock by itself. I know it's down. I got a little money in there. I'm talking about. Say it again, David. The L word.
The lithium ion batteries.
Yeah.
No, but that's not a government thing. That's a corporation that. It's like Apple. Like everything's enclosed in Apple. Like you can't get any like.
I know that, but I'm just saying, buy some stock into that.
What, into Tesla?
No.
Into what?
In the battery. He's saying
in the
in the
battery, motherfucker.
He's saying buy some stocks from
the people that
company.
own the people that manufacture the battery.
Yes.
Oh, I figured he made his own batteries.
No. I thought too. No.
At the way that your tax dollars are being spent, you should be outraged. You should be angry, but stop thinking
That's
that
why I
the
don't pay
enemy
taxes.
is, they constantly have us arguing against each other, women versus men, black versus white, It's a nonsense. The reason why they want us constantly warring is because it distracts from all of us coming together and taking a look at who the real criminals are. And the real criminals are this small group, this small cadre of powerful people.
She's
that
spitting right now.
I think we're virtually all still on a plantation. They just made it look nice. You got a nice chair. We got nice chairs here. But I think we're all still on a plantation.
Shut up. It's for the baby shower. So is this the reason why I haven't really heard you pushing people to vote for any particular candidate this go around?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very clear about the fact I let everything play out, but I absolutely love Vivek Ramaswamy. Obviously, he's not running anymore.
Yeah.
But his idea,
He was a very well-spoken guy.
sharp focus on what the actual issues were. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I'm obviously voting for Trump. We were all doing better under Trump. It's that simple. I don't care what else they have.
How you feel about that? She said, "I'm absolutely voting for Trump."
Yeah, I mean, you have to, if you're going to partake in the farce that is voting, you have to vote with whichever candidate more closely aligns with your values, because neither one's ever going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So you just gotta, I guess you gotta kind of go with the
You think it's
lesser
just
evil.
a money thing? Like he keeps money going, or if I'm saying that wrong?
I mean, there's usually tax breaks when there's a Republican president, so yeah, you'll get more money. But I think with her, it's and most conservatives, a lot of it's going to have to deal with, how we handle China, all the money we're spending in foreign countries with their wars and the border, all the.
It was about keeping money in the house, in the state. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to run. I think Trump's going to run away with the election this year, just based off of what Joe Biden did with the whole surging the border shit.
Surging the border. Yeah.
All these traditionally blue states like New York. Yeah. I mean, everyone's miserable with the shit that's going down here with all the migrants and stuff. So I don't know if they're shot themselves in the foot, but I can't see Biden winning this election. I think it's if I voted, I would. I was very against Trump the first two or three times that he ran.
Okay.
If I voted, I would probably vote for Trump.
But were you against him because of his values, or just because you were just emotional of what people were saying?
I thought he was a bullshitter. When he was talking about draining the swamp and all that stuff. You're part of the swamp, my man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a billionaire. You file for bankruptcy every time one of your businesses doesn't make out, and everyone else gets fucked. All the contractors and people that work there. Yeah. You get away scot-free, because of the bankruptcy laws. You don't pay any taxes. You take advantage of the tax law. He's crass and brash, and doesn't have the type of temperament that you would want from somebody who represents your country in a leadership position. But some people like that because he's not buttoned up and he's not talking out of both sides of his mouth. What he's saying generally is what he believes, and he's just, whether you like it or not, he's just going to say it. I think you should be a little bit more reserved as if you're going to be a president of the country.
I mean, you could, but it's just like, what has that really gotten us over the years of people who've been more reserved? Because I don't know. I feel like
not necessarily reserved, but just not as. I hate to say business-like because it's there's just a certain way that you should talk to other people. You shouldn't be reading Twitter and having Twitter beefs as the president of the United States. That just seems a little childish to me.
To be honest, I find that kind of endearing and funny because I kind of want
do.
I actually want my dude. When Trump was president, dog, I used to love reading tweets because it was hilarious.
He's unbanned, right?
Yeah. He got,
Elon.
Everyone got unbanned.
Yeah, you're right, and they changed it over.
I know, maybe it's me. I kind of like want my president to at least have a personality, not just be like fucking a business robot that just cares about just and shit like that. I kind of feel like I just want my president to at least have a personality, to at least know like what his stances are and just shit like that, not just always just going on what's on a fucking script and what's in front of you just to read whatever the prompter says just to let people know how shit is. I don't know. Like I'd rather have a president that actually has a personality that says what he thinks he says, and that's it.
Yeah,
whether you don't like it, whether you like it or not, that's definitely that's your right as an American to have those type of opinions. You could disagree or agree what he says. You don't agree, that's fine. But I'd rather have a person that's like him be on top than someone who controls him, who controls the president.
All right, well let's see what she's.
Because let's be real. And in the past years, what is there any president that's really been doing what they're doing when they're in that office chair? I'm gonna say no.
That's what she was saying a little bit, but
financially, I mean, the last time we had a surplus was with Clinton. Ever since that, we've been in a deficit. It's just been growing. I mean, probably Reagan, JFK, probably the two best presidents in recent history.
Yeah. All right, let me see what she say.
I have to say, the libels, the smears, I get it. You do it to me, so I just don't even pay attention. I actually find it to be quite boring now.
What economically? What were the reasons? Because you said that you didn't like that Republicans were giving out money during 2020.
Both. They were just giving out money during COVID. It was crazy.
But that's what a lot of people loved. They loved the
stimulus. That's one of the reasons we got fucking inflation now.
So when you say you were doing better under Trump, that's what people point to. But look at the circumstances it took for that to happen. We don't want to have to go through another pandemic in order to get that money.
Yeah, but the point is that should provide you a lesson how the government works, because people weren't even thinking ahead. You're like, yeah, I'm getting this free check, so I'm not going to work. Again, incentivizing poor behavior. What ended up happening was a lot of the mom and pop stores closed. Right, a lot of businesses actually had to fold because they couldn't sustain it under the economic environment. They just couldn't thrive. Employees did not want to go to work. It was crazy. And so what ends up happening is the individuals get weaker and the corporations got bigger, right? Only the corporations could have survived in that environment, which is what unfortunately ended up happening. And then we put our own selves on the hook to be taxed into oblivion, to keep paying into this ridiculous thing that we agreed to pay into. It would have been much better for us to instead say, I'm happy to work. I don't want your small check. I want you to stop taking tax dollars from me. Shrink government, don't make it bigger. That always has to be the economic narrative. If you want to make government bigger, you are taking from me. Government does not make money. We make money, right? Government can only take money. So when you're advocating for more government solutions, you are literally advocating for the government to come into your check and take more money from you.
Lord, that makes so. But how were people?
That's honestly, dude.
What are some things that you can point to?
That's even what I heard saying that. That's basically that's the stance on government, dude. And it's surprising people don't know that. It really is surprising.
I hope people should know that.
No, I mean, dude, let's be realistic, because they don't teach you that. They don't teach you those type of shit in school. They don't.
Oh yeah, school doesn't teach you none of that.
So this is the type of shit you have to learn. You have to learn on your own, and if you pay attention, because if you how she says, if people just avoid things and not really pay attention, then whose fault really is it? Is it you want to put the blame on the government? No, you put the blame on yourself because you didn't do your research, or you didn't really
part
pay
of the distraction thing she was talking about.
Yeah,
they distract you with bullshit while they're in your pocket. Like, no one really thinks about it, right? The government doesn't pay out money. They only take your taxes and do shit with your taxes, and you don't know what it is that they're doing, but take our word for it. We're doing something with it.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a riot going down over here because this guy got choked out by police, or kneeling of the flag. I don't know. Go look. Pay attention to that. That's crazy, right? Somebody's kneeling for the flag, the anthem. Let's all talk about that. And you're yoink, taking more money out of your freaking back pocket.
I mean, we just gotta finish watching this, I guess, in our own time. This interview is an hour, but this is the part that I really wanted to hear how she felt about conservative and MAGA and stuff with Trump, and just a point of view. I gotta admit that I do gotta watch a little bit more, because she is well spoken. She does hit valid points, and some of the stuff I do look at it in my own time, do my own research too. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, more people like her bringing awareness, to the Black community and stuff. listen to some stuff from like Charlie Kirk is pretty good too.
It's good to okay.
You know, he talks about, you know, a lot of he's a white guy, but he does talk about a lot of the things that you know, keep the black community down, and they have a lot of the same, you know, similar talking points. And you'll look at there's a good YouTube channel called Poor Man's Podcast.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yes,
he's really good. He does a lot of like, you know, little TikTok stuff, but he also does some political videos and reactions on it. He's very well spoken on his narrative and stuff. Look at some of his stuff, and you'll kind of start to thinking and guessing about, you know, what's going on.
That's good. Exactly. We're gonna check that out, man. Candace Owens, run it up. Let's get it.